Welcome to Bird's Nest, everybody. Today we are at the
Decorah Fish Hatchery.
There you go. So we're going to take a little tour of the fish hatchery, see some little trout, some big trout, brooder trout. You ready to go check it out, guys?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yep.
We're here at the Decorah Hatchery, and the other day when we were camping there, we met Ryan. Good to see you again, Ryan.
See you again, yeah.
He works for the hatchery, and we met him down at Coldwater where we're camping. He was stocking the stream. So, sorry. So, and we thank you again for, we racked his brain for probably close to an hour.
Yeah.
Standing there. Had hundreds of fish to stock. And anyway, so we ran into him, and he's been kind enough. He's got us some food, and he's going to give us kind of a brief oversight of the hatchery. And I guess for starters, so you guys you take the eggs and fertilize them yourself and everything here?
We do not. Manchester actually does that, and then they do the whole hatching process and the fertilizing process. And
okay.
They actually bring them up here.
And how big are they? Still a little fry, or are they
usually running around like 2 inches is about the smallest that they'll give us.
Okay.
And then it takes around about like 18 months or so.
Oh, really?
From about 2 inches or a little smaller than that for them to get to
stockable size,
which is like 10 to 12 inches. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we have noticed
months.
that's a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
really.
me too. I was not expecting that number.
But the thing is, I've noticed, or we've noticed, the trout we catch a variety of sizes.
Yeah.
So do some just naturally grow quicker than others, or grow bigger? Is that it? Just the
really
genetics?
What it is. I mean, we have, like in a lot of the races, we'll have like 10,000 fish, depending on the size. Like it'll go from either like 30,000 will be like the small ones. There'll be like 30. There'll be sometimes around 30,000 fish, and then we'll split them into different raceways just to give them more oxygen, more room.
Right. Now, do you try and separate them out at all size-wise, or is it just strictly age?
It's just
age.
It's just age, pretty much.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. if they're sick or something, or if there's just too many of them in one raceway, we'll split them into different ones.
Okay, so you've got.
To the fruit first,
is how quickly they grow.
Pretty much.
So you've got
their genes as well.
Yeah.
So if you've got 5,000 to 10,000 in each raceway, how many raceways do you have then?
At least 20. So.
Wow.
So how many right now? About how many trout do you think you have here overall?
Probably 130,000.
Oh wow!
Oh my gosh.
Because we have
a lot of fish.
I think 10,000. We used to have more in the pond. There used to be like I think 13 or 15,000. Now we have we gave some to Manchester.
Okay.
So we have probably around 10,000 maybe left in the pond, and that's just the pond itself. And,
right.
We got a couple weeks ago. We got a load of 30,000 fish that were like this big.
Yeah.
And we split them into different raceways. So probably around 130,000 or so.
Wow, that's amazing.
And one other question I have. I mean, obviously everybody likes the big fish, the big brooders. Do you know about how many of those you keep here?
We started out this year, like in April, we had like 200 or so.
Okay.
And now we have about 100.
Okay.
Because we were just stocking
I
in the
have
streams.
a follow-up question. What's your biggest brooder? How big is your biggest brooder?
There's some that are 30 plus inches in there, I think.
Wow.
There's got to be
at
least one that's
my biggest was almost 10 pounds, and it was a brooder stocked here.
Yeah.
Because it was years ago before they really did the replica mounts. And I actually brought it here, and there was employees here that recognized that trout because it was only like 24 inches long, but it was
thick,
just thick, huge.
Yeah.
So now, but my question is, so those, you don't have those, I mean, brooders are used for reproducing.
Yeah.
Since you don't reproduce here, you have those strictly just to raise and let go in the streams for fun then?
We strictly have them just for to raise them in the stream, or to raise them up and then throw them in the streams.
Right.
and also kind of an attraction. Like that's kind of the main attraction, especially when we're feeding.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
People love to see that. I mean,
See the brooders come up and eat. Oh, how cool.
That's
That'd
awesome.
be really, really neat to see.
Because that, I mean, that is my dream. That was probably my
Maybe we'll
fish of a
get you to
lifetime.
come up and eat.
I want to see. I want to see one of these
Really?
guys. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Okay.
All right, should we?
Well, Herd, you guys have been really good sitting there. Thank you. Can we go see some fish?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Grab the bucket.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it, man.
no problem.
So it's my understanding, and we talked about this the other day. Thank you. That you don't stock brown trout, correct, or brook?
No, we're working on brook,
Okay.
but browns strictly no.
Just rainbows.
Yeah, just rainbows.
Does Manchester or any other hatchery, do they stock or raise browns?
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
Manchester does raise some brown trout.
Okay.
And they do stock some, I think. I believe they do.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think I've heard that they do raise some browns.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any brooder browns here?
No.
No?
We do not.
Okay, just
But
rainbows.
Just rainbows, yeah. We do have a few brooks here. Monster brooks. I mean,
Really?
they're like this.
No kidding.
They are. They're some of the brood brooks we have.
Maybe we could see those,
I
yeah.
think we plan on stocking them in like urban ponds, like in like Des Moines.
Oh, really?
Places like that, I think.
Okay.
Later this fall, I believe. That's the whole goal of us having them for now.
Right, right.
We are working on trying to figure out streams that brook trout could thrive in, and
Sure.
we're trying to remove some brown trout from certain streams that have brook trout.
Because they're pretty ferocious, aren't
yeah,
they, browns?
They are super aggressive. They eat everything.
Right, right.
They just outcompete
I
brooks.
saw a
so
brooder
easily.
about this big.
Wow. They get bigger than that. All right, cool. All right, thank you.
No problem.
All right, so I had a question for Ryan. We're here at one of the big brooder pond here, checking them out, and was asking him about if they have a water cooler or how they keep the water cool for the trout, because trout naturally are, like colder water.
Yeah.
And your answer?
Well, the entire hatchery actually comes straight from the water comes straight from the spring. It goes through that big white towel. It comes from the spring. Under like basically we have like a pipe, not a pipe system, but it's like a kind of like a tunnel-ish thing, and it goes up to that big white tower, and then through these blue pipes is where it comes out, and it stays around between 50 55 degrees, depending on how hot it is or something.
Right, right.
Throughout the entire year. The hatchery doesn't freeze. We keep the fish overwintered, never freezes, because the water's always moving.
Always moving, right?
And it's typically around the same degrees anyway. So
Okay.
that's basically.
So that probably helps them when
Right.
you stock them. That's why you probably have a fairly high success rate when you stock them
Yeah.
because it's not a shock.
Yeah,
It's
there's
the same-
No shock, there's no shock between water temperatures or anything.
Right.
It's pretty much the same temperature. It varies a little bit, but it's not a giant jump or anything. So
Right.
They're typically.